Did you know that the difference between a tiny home that looks like a budget shed and one that looks like a luxury retreat has almost nothing to do with how much you spent to build it? In 2026, tens of thousands of Americans are living in tiny homes priced around $30,000. Most of them look exactly like what they cost, but a small number of them, they look like something out of an Architectural Digest spread. And the secret is not more money. It is a smarter decision. Today I am going to walk you through 5 specific, proven upgrades that will make your $30,000 tiny home look like it cost $100,000. These are not fluff tips. These are design moves backed by real 2026 data, real costs, and real results. And stick with me to the end, because the 5th tip is the one most tiny home owners completely overlook, and it might be the most powerful transformation on this entire list. Before we get into it, if you're new here, welcome. This channel is all about honest, no-hype information on affordable housing, tiny homes, and smart building. Hit subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss a video. And if you find this one useful, drop a like. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need this information. Alright, let us get into it. Let me be straight with you right up front. We're not talking about magic tricks or making your home look fake expensive. What we are talking about is intentional design. The kind of design that professional interior designers use every single day to make modest spaces feel elevated, curated, and luxurious. Every single upgrade on this list is doable on a real budget. Some you can DIY on a weekend. None of them require gutting your home or taking out a second loan. Let's count them down. The single biggest ROI upgrade. If there is one upgrade that professional designers unanimously agree on, it is this one. Lighting transforms everything. Think about every high-end hotel room, every luxury Airbnb, every designer kitchen you have ever seen in a magazine. What do they all have in common? The lighting is layered, warm, intentional, and dramatic. Now think about the average $30,000 tiny home. One basic overhead fixture, usually a cheap flush mount, floods the room with flat, harsh light that makes everything look cheap no matter what else you have done. Here is what the data says about fixing this. In 2026, a statement pendant or sculptural light fixture runs $75 to $300 for the fixture itself. Prices for high design pieces have moved up slightly from prior years as demand for designer look lighting has grown. Professional installation typically adds $100 to $300. But here is the big 2026 development. Rechargeable and cordless LED fixtures are now a serious option. These allow you to place a designer quality light anywhere in your space without wiring, completely eliminating the electrician cost. That is a genuine game changer for tiny home budgets. But here is the real move: layered lighting. LED strip lighting tucked into ceilings, under cabinets, and along loft edges now runs $20 to $100 depending on whether you go standard or modular. Modular lighting kits, where you can configure and reconfigure panel shapes, are one of the defining lighting trends of 2026. They add a high design, architectural feel to any small space and install in an afternoon. Here is the specific formula I recommend for a tiny home. First, one statement pendant or cluster pendant over your dining or kitchen area. Second, LED strip lighting under your kitchen cabinets and around your loft. Third, warm white bulbs set to 2700 Kelvin in every socket. That is the luxury standard. And here is the detail that separates a $30,000 room from a $100,000 room: tonal dimming. In 2026, the high-end lighting feature that guests actually notice is lights that shift warmer as they dim. Smart bulbs and dimmable fixtures that do this cost almost nothing extra and create an atmosphere that feels genuinely upscale. Total realistic cost for the full lighting transformation: $300 to $600. The visual return on that number is enormous. The surface that sets the tone for everything else. The floor is the largest visible surface in any home. In a tiny home, it is even more dominant because your eyes are always close to it. If your floor looks budget, your entire home looks budget. Full stop. The problem is that real hardwood flooring is expensive, fragile, and not ideal for tiny homes, which often deal with moisture, temperature swings, and heavy use. The solution in 2026 is luxury vinyl plank, or LVP, and the product has genuinely evolved. Here is the honest cost breakdown. LVP material in 2026 runs $2.50 to $8 per square foot. A tiny home is typically 200 to 400 square feet. That means your materials cost for the entire floor runs roughly $500 to $3,200, depending on quality. If you choose Click-Lock LVP, which is designed for DIY installation, you eliminate labor costs entirely. Professional installation adds about $1.50 to $3 per square foot if you prefer to go that route. Now here's the 2026 distinction you need to know. Not all LVP is created equal for tiny homes specifically. Standard LVP handles moisture well, but tiny homes, especially mobile ones, experience extreme temperature fluctuations that can cause standard LVP to expand, contract, and eventually warp. The product you want in 2026 is SPC, which stands for Stone Plastic Composite. SPC LVP has a rigid stone-based core that handles temperature swings far better than standard vinyl. It runs slightly more per square foot, but for a tiny home that travels or sits in variable climates, it is the right call, and it still falls well within the $2.50 to $8 per square foot range. One pro tip on aesthetics: go with a wider plank. 7-inch to 9-inch wide planks look significantly more premium than narrow 4-inch planks. They elongate the space and feel intentional. Also choose a matte or low sheen finish. High gloss floors look cheap in small spaces. Matte finishes are what you consistently see in luxury builds and a quiet luxury design movement that defines 2026. If you're doing a 300 square foot tiny home with mid-range SPC LVP and installing it yourself, you're looking at roughly $900 to $1,500 total. That is a complete floor transformation from a single weekend of work. The detail that designers swear by. This is the most underrated tip on this list. And I want you to pay close attention because this is where people spend almost nothing and get a disproportionately big result. Design experts consistently say that cabinet pulls, drawer knobs, door handles, faucets, and light switch plates are the details that signal quality. They're what your hand touches. They are what your eye catches at close range. In most $30,000 tiny homes, these details are the builder-grade chrome basics that come standard and cost almost nothing to manufacture. Here is the upgrade. In 2026, the dominant finishes in high-end design are knurled matte black, brushed brass, and brushed nickel. That last one deserves attention. Brushed nickel is making a strong comeback as part of the soft minimalism trend that is defining interiors this year. It is warmer than chrome, more understated than matte black, and pairs beautifully with the warm neutrals and off-whites that are the 2026 color palette. But if you want one specific detail that signals you know the high-end market, is knurling. Knurled texture is the diamond pattern grip you see on designer handles and pulls. It feels noticeably more expensive in your hand than a smooth handle, and it reads as intentional and custom in a way that plain pulls simply do not. Knurled matte black cabinet pulls run $3 to $10 per pull. A complete tiny home kitchen hardware swap costs $40 to $150. The result looks custom built. Extend that same thinking to your faucets. A builder-grade kitchen faucet looks exactly like what it costs. A matte black or brushed nickel pull-down faucet from a mid-range brand now runs $120 to $250 in 2026. Prices on designer-look faucets have moved up slightly as demand has outpaced supply for this style. Install one yourself in about an hour. The difference in how your kitchen reads visually is night and day. For the bathroom, match your faucet, towel bar, and toilet paper holder as a set. A complete match set in a single finish runs $100 to $200. Match finishes are what make a bathroom look designed rather than assembled. Total cost for a complete hardware and fixture upgrade across your tiny home: $200 to $400. The perceived value increase is 10 times that number. The cheapest transformation with the biggest visual payoff. Paint is the single cheapest transformation available to any homeowner, but most tiny homeowners use it wrong. They paint all 4 walls the same flat white and call it done. That is not a design decision. That is the absence of one. Here is what professional designers do with paint in small spaces. First, they use an accent wall. One wall painted in a deep, rich, intentional color creates depth, visual interest, and personality. The 2026 palette that interior designers are consistently recommending for small spaces includes deep forest green, warm terracotta, and the two colors that are defining this year specifically, espresso brown and warm, creamy off-whites. These are not trendy in the fleeting sense. They are sophisticated, grounding colors that make a space feel considered and timeless. A gallon of quality interior paint from Sherwin-Williams or Benjamin Moore runs $55 to $95 in 2026. Premium scuff-resistant formulas are now considered the standard for small, high-traffic spaces because they hold up to daily contact far better than standard paint. Painting one accent wall costs you 1 gallon, one afternoon, and the result looks like a $500 design decision. But here's the next level move: monochromatic trim. In 2026, the luxury paint technique that most people miss is painting your baseboards and trim the same color as your wall, but in a different sheen. Satin finish on the walls, semi-gloss on the trim. The result is subtle and sophisticated. It reads as intentional and custom, and it makes your ceilings feel approximately 10% taller because the eye does not catch a harsh color break at the baseboard line. Adding or upgrading to 3.5-inch or 4-inch baseboards is a project most DIYers can handle. Materials for a 300 square foot tiny home, including molding and corner pieces, run $100 to $200. Combined with the accent wall and premium paint, your total investment here is around $200 to $400, and the transformation is dramatic. One final paint detail: do not ignore your ceiling. Painting it one shade lighter than your walls rather than defaulting to flat white creates warmth and intentionality. It costs nothing extra. It just requires the decision, the one most tiny homeowners never think about. Here it is, the tip I promised at the beginning. And it is actually two connected ideas that work together to create the most powerful overall transformation on this list. When most people decorate a tiny home, they fill it. They add shelving, they add art, they add plants, they keep adding until every surface has something on it. Then they wonder why the space feels cluttered and small, even though they put a lot of effort into it. High-end design does the opposite. It uses restraint. Designers call this negative space. And it is the deliberate decision to leave areas empty so that the things you do choose to display feel intentional and important. Instead of spreading 15 small decorative pieces around your space, choose 3 or 4 genuinely good pieces and give each one room to breathe. One large piece of wall art, at least 24 by 30 inches, makes a wall look curated. 6 small pieces on the same wall look like a garage sale. The vertical space principle pairs with this directly. In tiny homes, the wall space above eye level is almost always completely empty and unused. This is valuable real estate. Installing 1 or 2 floating shelves 5 to 6 feet off the floor and displaying 3 to 5 carefully chosen objects on each one draws the eye upward, makes ceilings feel taller, and adds a design layer that reads as professional. Floating shelves run $20 to $60 each. The objects on them can come from thrift stores. What matters is the curation, not the cost. And now for the 2026 addition to this tip that takes it to another level entirely: invisible tech. In 2026, one of the clearest signals of a high-end home is that the technology is hidden. A visible router on a shelf, a tangle of cords behind a TV, a cable box sitting in plain sight. These are the details that immediately make a space read as budget regardless of everything else you have done. The fix is simple. A router cover or decorative box costs $20 to $40 and hides the one object that more than almost anything else says this is not a luxury space. For your TV, the single biggest 2026 upgrade you can make is a frame-style television. These are TVs designed to look like framed artwork when not in use. Samsung has made this category mainstream, and other brands have followed. When your screen displays a painting or photograph while idle, your tiny home stops looking like a media room and starts looking like a curated living space. Entry-level frame-style TVs now start around $400 to $600 for a 43-inch screen. That is not a small investment, but if your budget allows for one premium purchase, this one changes the entire character of your space. Combine negative space discipline, vertical shelving at elevation, and invisible tech, and you have a space that feels intentional from every angle. That intentionality is what separates a $30,000 home from a $100,000 home more than any single product you could buy. Let me pull back and give you the real, honest numbers. Lighting transformation, including pendant fixture and LED strips, $300 to $600. LVP or SPC flooring for a 300 square foot home, installed DIY, $900 to $1,500. Hardware and fixture upgrades, including kitchen faucet and bathroom set, $200 to $400. Paint, accent wall, premium scuff-resistant formula, and trim, $200 to $400. Floating shelves, decor editing, and router concealment, $100 to $200. Optional frame-style TV if budget allows, $400 to $600. Total investment across all 5 upgrades without the TV, approximately $1,700 to $3,100. That is a 5 to 10% investment on a $30,000 home that can genuinely double its perceived value. And here is the honest framing. You do not need to do all of this at once. Start with lighting. It has the single biggest visual return per dollar spent. Then flooring. Then hardware. Then paint and trim. Then vertical space and invisible tech. Done one step at a time over several months. Every stage feels like a significant transformation, and the cumulative result is a home that simply does not look like what it cost to build. Here is the bottom line. Your tiny home does not look cheap because it cost $30,000 to build. It looks cheap because of the decisions that were made about the details. And decisions can be changed. Every one of the 5 upgrades we covered today, lighting, SPC flooring, knurled hardware and designer fixtures, paint and monochromatic trim, and intentional use of vertical space and invisible tech, are the same moves that professional interior designers use to make modest spaces look world-class. You do not need a $100,000 budget to have a $100,000 looking home. You need smart decisions, honest information, and the willingness to invest a little time and intention. If this video gave you value, please hit the like button. It helps more people find this channel. Subscribe if you have not already. I post new videos on affordable housing, tiny homes, and smart building every week. I will see you in the next one.